How do I get my book done? What if my book doesn't sell? How can I even break even? These are common questions I hear about becoming an author, and the solution to all of these problems is simple, and it won't cost you a penny. If you want to know how to change your mind to change your results, well, you're in the exact right place because this video is for you. Hey there, I'm Julie the Book Broad. I'm the founder of a fabulous self-publishing professional services company called Book Launchers. We help you write a great book with writers and writing coaches. Then we help you edit, design, and publish that book. And then we help you market that beautiful business and brand boosting work. The best part? You keep all rights and royalties. In our journey of helping more than 400 authors directly and probably more than 1,000 others indirectly, we have encountered a lot of big and little obstacles that derail and deter would-be authors from getting their book done. This is devastating because not only will the author always feel that heavy burden of what if, but also the reader who would have had their life impacted by the work will never get that support, education, or expertise. So here are some ways to make sure that isn't your story and get that book done. First, know that the only thing holding you back is between your ears. It's a mindset shift. We've talked about the 4 monsters that get in your head and hold you back. Today, let's talk about how to tame those beasts. So the number 1 mindset shift was one I realized in a recent podcast interview when I was asked about how I stay motivated. We'd been talking about setbacks, and I gave the interviewer just a tiny view into the gigantic setbacks I experienced in 2022. And he said, "Whoa, how do you stay motivated?" And I realized I don't even consider motivation because I have discipline. I show up, I take daily action even when I feel like everything is going wrong and nothing's working, and I just keep going. I'm not through all the major issues I've been dealing with, but once I come out the other side, I'll share a bunch of it with you. And you'll probably wonder, like he did, how I kept going. And the answer may not be easy, but it is simple. It comes down to discipline. It's not a question of whether I will do it. I just do it. I do it unhappy. I do it happy. I do it tired. I do it awake. I don't need motivation when things aren't a question. I just do it. It's like Steven Pressfield says in his book, Turning Pro. The professional does not wait for inspiration. He acts in anticipation of it. He lists a lot of qualities of a professional, and I identify with all of them. But here are 5 that really stood out for me in challenging times. 1, the professional shows up every day. 2, the professional stays on the job all day. 3, the professional is committed over the long haul. 4, for the professional, the stakes are high and real. Further, 5, the professional is patient. So if you want to finish your book, you need discipline. Nothing more, but also nothing less. Mindset shift number 2. Whatever you want to write, if you want it to have a market, you need an audience. And that audience cannot be everyone. It can't offer inspiration, and you can't offer them hope. It has to offer inspiration that leads to an outcome for a specific person with a specific situation. It has to offer hope to a specific person who needs hope for a specific reason. Your work needs a clear audience that you are emotionally connected to so you can write what they need and what they want. Ryan Holiday talks a lot about reader clarity in Perennial Seller. At one point he says, producing your next project is easier when you have a real direct relationship with an audience and can learn what they like, want, and need. This is so true, and it's why I love creating videos for you. When you comment, hint, 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 on my videos, I learn. When you subscribe to the channel on a particular video, also hint, and smash that like button for content you appreciate, it gives me a lot of information that helps me get and be connected with you so I can create more content that supports you in your goals, helps you overcome your obstacles and achieve your biggest outcomes. And when you comment on the day a video is released, you also get entered to win prizes, or as Quizmaster China always likes to say, there's a lotto and you have to play to win. So when you comment, you get entered for the lotto and become a YouTube bestie like Quizmaster China, Rachel Robertson, Efren Delgado, Michael W. Cook, author, Professor E.A. Burlingame, and Mike Hurd. Now, we've talked about reader research before, and I'll link to that video at the end if you need some support getting connected to your ideal reader so you can write what they need. But being connected to that reader also gives you a clear sense of purpose, which also helps with your mindset. Because if you have a clear sense of purpose and you're writing your book for your reader, not for you, then it can be a lot easier to just sit down and get the work done. And the third and final mindset shift we'll talk about today is to think bigger than break even. How many authors have said to me, how many books do I need to sell to break even? Or, I know my book won't make money. And I do understand why you may feel that way. Many books don't sell, traditionally published books and self-published books. But I also believe you get what you focus on. And if you think you can, and if you think you can't, you're right. So if you shoot for the moon, sometimes you miss, but sometimes you hit the stars. How many more platitudes should I throw at you to make the point? I don't think it's realistic to expect your book to sell 1 million copies if you currently have an audience of 25 people, and that includes your mom and dad and brothers and sisters. I don't even think 100,000 copies is realistic as a first goal, but that's very different than making money. Copies sold doesn't mean cash. So focus on what will make you money. Other formats, courses, workbooks, different languages, future books, presentations, workshops, consulting, licensing rights, selling rights. You can make a ton of money from a book, especially if you have a super clear audience and you focus on creating something of high value for that audience. You have to invest, you have to be disciplined, and you have to approach the project like a professional. And when you do that, well, you just might find yourself making a lot of money from and because of your book. Also, since I started by mentioning Steven Pressfield, I think it's worth noting that he was in his 50s when he started making a real living as a writer. He kept going. He did the work. When you Google his net worth, the sites that do that estimation stuff estimate his net worth at $5 million and growing. Not too bad. But that never happens if you don't get the book done and keep working. Now, you need to know that reader. So this video on reader research tools is going to be really useful. And this one on 5 tips to finish writing your book will surely help too. Click on over. I'll see you there.